All right, welcome everybody. So like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be pretty laid back. I just noticed based on our poll that what most people are looking for is an opportunity to learn how to share more of the business side of our business and grow their team and lead their team. And so tonight's focus is mostly going to be on building your team, having new people join your team, and then we'll also touch on, how to encourage people to get working. So, first of all, I just wanted to say that, even being a national marketing director, you don't have to do anything fancy. I'm literally sitting in my dungeon basement. And I mean, I have like stuff around me and it's nothing fancy. I don't have a fancy office, and it works. So it's whatever works. And so know that, waiting for the perfect time, having the perfect office, having, whatever it might be, you'll be waiting forever because there's never a perfect time, right? So now is the perfect time. December is the perfect month. Don't wait for January. Now is the time. So think about why you joined our mission. And I was going to do a show of hands, but seeing as how there's two of us visible, you can just reflect on this, okay? So think, was it just for a discount on your product? When somebody asked you if you wanted to sign up, was it a discount on your product? Was it to be a part of the community? Maybe you saw posts on Facebook, or you went to an event, or you just saw or heard about your friends or family and what they were doing. And you thought, hey, this looks like a really cool group of people that I want to be a part of. Was it to make some money? Was it to make an income? I know that most of us, I find, especially in the beginning, we like to make posts about money, how you can make money, you can make bonus money, you can make this. But what we're learning, especially for people who've been in the business for a long time, their experience is people, maybe it is just a few $100 a month, because that can make a huge difference. Even just like $100 a month, that's $1,200 in a year that you didn't have before. But again, what we're learning is that it's more about our mission. It's more about this community that people are looking for, even more than the money. The money is great. It's life-changing. It's awesome. But sometimes that's not enough to entice people, because they might already have a great job, or they might not be looking for a career. They might just be looking for the community. So something I want to just remind you is that this business isn't for everyone. It's not for everyone. And I know it's easy to get in that, thinking like, oh my gosh, this would be great for so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so. It's not for everyone. However, let them decide. So give them the opportunity to decide if they do want this business, but it's okay if they don't. It's okay if they just want the discount, or if they just want, their product for free. They don't have to work the business, but let them decide, and it's okay if it's not. Number one thing, and I would say the thing that's been most successful in growing my team, has been offering people the business right up front. So when they order their product, it is in their best interest to sign up for the discount on their product within that first month. The reason for that is that within that first month, if they sign up before the end of the month or on qualifiers day, they get that retail sales profit back on their first order, and they get the full amount back. And so it is definitely in their best interest. So what I always do, and it used to be scary in the beginning, but like anything, you get practice, right? And so let's say somebody's ordering a Trio capsule order. I always make sure to just give them up front, like, hey, I don't know if this would interest you, but I feel bad taking, money that could be yours. If you were to pay $50, you would get a discount on your product, and I just give them the cost for a year. So I always say, you pay $50 now, but you're getting back, for example, that Trio capsule order, that's $37 up front, and then every time it ships out. So you times that by 3, because usually it's shipping out every 4 months. They've made over $100, right? So they've already made that return, and they've doubled it. Why wouldn't they want to sign up? And more often than not, you'd be surprised how many people are insulted if you don't offer that to them. So I offer it up front. Let's say they order on the 13th of the month. I say, hey, I have no idea if this would interest you, but, you know, no pressure. You don't have to do anything, but, you know, just get a little bit of money back. It's either I get it or you get it. If they say yes, great, you sign them up. If they say no, I put a reminder in my phone, and a few days before month end, I touch base again. By that point, they've usually gotten their product, and sometimes even within a few days, they're like my last girl that joined my team, she was like, oh my God, this is awesome, right? I'm loving the shakes. She was on the shakes and the capsules. So even though she was a no in the beginning, she did sign up before month end because she could foresee that she was going to be spending money on product. Why not get a little bit back? So that would be like my little trick, is make sure you're offering them, simplifying it. So just offering them, hey, I don't know if this would interest you, but for the discount, right? I like to say it's like a Costco card membership, because you're paying $50 up front, but you're getting money back. Something to keep in mind too is that we now pay our distributorship fee, that $50, on our anniversary date. So if you get somebody this month who signs up, let's say tomorrow, so December 16th, they won't pay that $50 again until next December 16th. Okay, so effective right now, when your people sign up, that's when they pay their anniversary date is when they pay their fee. So before the end of the first month is the most, I say, valuable time for them to sign up, because after that, they get that retail sales profit back quarterly. So that $37 on that trio capsule on their second shipment is divided up in 4 so that it becomes a residual income. So that your income, you know, at your level is quite consistent. It's either staying the same or it's growing. It shouldn't fluctuate too much once you start developing that customer base. Because you're getting a little bit every month instead of a huge amount, and then nothing, and then nothing, and nothing, and then a huge amount, nothing, nothing, nothing. So anyways, long story short, that's been extremely effective for myself, and I find a lot of people growing their team is just that. Okay. The other thing that I found very effective, and we were just talking about at the NMD Summit, is it is almost more important to bring a customer to an event than a prospect. Now, it's very valuable to bring a prospect to an event, but I know myself, I'm guilty of not necessarily bringing customers, right? Because I've already got them. They're a customer, yay! Or even a new team member, because they might be a new customer too. So bringing customers to events, because what we found, and I don't know if you've seen this in your business already, but people order their product. Yay, life's great. Okay, they get their first shipment. Now, oftentimes they have unrealistic expectations. So if by the end of that 4-month period, they don't see the results that they were looking for, to get them to that second box, we found, and I don't have my stats right in front of me, but our CEO was saying there's only about, he was saying you have like not even a 50-50 chance of people being like lifetime customers if you get them to that second box. So that second box is important, but it's actually the third shipment of Juice Plus that usually is a guarantee on their retention rate. So a customer who orders doesn't mean they're going to be a customer for life. And we have products that people should be taking for the rest of their lives. And I know the few of you that are on tonight, like I'm sure you're of the case that, you know, you guys are here and you're going to be here for the rest of your lives. You believe in the products, you know, you've had amazing results if that's what you're looking for, or you've just been to enough events now that you know these are powerful products. And so, you know, they don't know what we know. And oftentimes, even if they are learning it, hearing it from somebody else is key. So when they get their shipment, get your customers to events too, because they need to realize what's happening on the inside and just how powerful it is. So bringing them to events is key. There, they're going to see the community. There, they're going to see that this is an awesome product, and they're going to be so happy that they're taking it. And they're also probably more often than not, they're going to hear stories that's going to remind them maybe of somebody else too. Like, oh, my sister needs this, or oh, that reminded me of my dad or my friend. And then they're going to realize that they could and should be sharing it with other people. And The other thing that we found, and this was from Paulo Teixeira, who's our CEO, Jay Martin's right-hand man, who was saying that leading with our mission is much more important than our product or our business. So when you guys are sharing Juice Plus, know that people don't necessarily buy what you're selling, they're buying you. Because our mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. You don't have to be perfect. I definitely need to work out more often than I do, right? I rarely do. But, yesterday I posted a live video because Brandon and I were doing this workout, which rarely happens at home. But that's what people want to see. They just want to see real. They want to see people who are just making an effort to lead a healthy life, just making one simple change. Doesn't have to be crazy. That's what they see, right? They don't want to see my bottles of Juice Plus and me saying, hey, message me to order. They want to see that you are just leading the mission. You're just, and that simplifying it, meaning that they can do it too. So just leading with the mission, being a product of the product, and don't be embarrassed to share about your product, share about the business, but do it in a way that is a lighthouse and that's inspiring. So something else to keep in mind is that I just wanted to share kind of quickly is we were talking about our what sets us apart. It's just that our company has been around for over 20 years. Well, actually, I should say our products have been around for 20 years. Our company for over 40, and it's not going anywhere. This is very different than other companies, and we should be really proud of that. So you don't necessarily need to post about it, but be proud when you're sharing with people, this isn't going anywhere. And just be patient with them, knowing that this is still going to be there a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 80 years from now, even when you and I aren't here anymore. And so just be patient when you're sharing those things. So what I wanted to do tonight was, like I say, give you some advice on building your team, how to invite people to our teams, and then how to move forward in helping them to see the vision. And so, like I said, first of all, I think it's really important to be inviting them to join right from the get-go, and especially before the end of that first month. And again, just, really simply, I feel bad taking your money. This is what you could be saving, giving them the opportunity. And then again, checking in before that second shipment, before that third shipment, just anytime really trying to get them out to an event, things like that. The other thing that I have seen really effective is asking your customers to host events for you. Because the whole idea with network marketing is that, this isn't just your friends and family, it's their friends and family and their friends and family and so on. So my team, that consists of hundreds of people, those aren't people that I knew before this. I mean, right here, even on the Zoom call tonight, my cousin is on and one of my good friends, but, Dawn and Crystal here, I had never even met before. And I think that's the power of this, is that you want to reach more people. And so when you've got a happy customer, or sometimes it's just a customer, you just ask them to do a favor. Just like, hey, we've been doing these awesome smoothie parties. I know you love your shakes. Would you be interested in hosting a smoothie party? And you just tell them, there's no pressure. Nobody has to buy anything. I just would love to, get the word out about, inspiring healthy living. I think this could be something fun. All you have to do is invite people and I'll bring everything else. And people, as long as, like I say, you take that pressure off, that there's nothing to buy that night anyways, you're just kind of sharing the information. It's very low key. Make an event that's going to be fun for them, whether it be a salad in a jar or a smoothie party or whatever it might be, wine and wellness. People are usually more than happy, like I say, to do you a favor. But then what happens is you get a room full of people, or even just one other person that you wouldn't have connected with otherwise. And it's so powerful when they get in the room, because again, they're just hearing some stories. They're, having a good time, realizing that there's no pressure. And usually in those event one-on-one or small group settings, you'd be surprised how many people just say, oh, I didn't realize that it was just this, or I didn't realize it was no pressure. And that is where most people, and it surprised me, my friends and family or other people's friends and family that are so interested in joining, and I wouldn't have realized from the get-go. So asking your customers to host events, and then once their friends and family order, if they're not already a team member, that's where you say, oh, I would feel so guilty taking this money. You know, if you signed up, you could be getting back their stuff and just, you know, offsetting some of your product costs or so on and so on. So I think that's a great way too for them just to see how easy it is, what we do. Then I think that they'd be a lot more interested. And lastly, I had some of the team post some questions because I thought this isn't about me, this is about you guys. So one of the ladies was wondering, she was saying, you know, okay, so I brought somebody to an event, and this was quite a while ago. So this would have been last month. And now it's been quite a while. So how do I move forward from there? Because I don't want to feel like a salesperson. I don't want to feel like I'm, you know, too much time's gone on. And we talk about our business that we're dating people, right? Because you really do have to, you know, keep that connection going, you know, and get them kind of like woo them, I guess, is, you know, just keep that fire going. And so, honestly, the key is the follow-up, because, and think about yourself again, you know, did you sign up for our business opportunity the first time it was introduced to you? I would think that, for the most part, most of us didn't. It wasn't the first time somebody asked us to join, but maybe it wasn't the second time, maybe it wasn't the 10th time. So knowing that the key is in the follow-up. So I would say number one, when you are following up with somebody, maybe they've been to an event or maybe you've just shared before, remember that it's not about Juice Plus. So, you know, oftentimes following up with nothing to do with Juice Plus. And also knowing in your heart that you're not using them, that we have something that they're going to thank you for later. So being really proud in what you're sharing, but knowing that it's not about that. So for example, if I had 2 ladies join me at our events in November, when I followed up with one of them, it was just actually her sister had messaged me to order Juice Plus, and I had never shared with her sister. So I just messaged my girlfriend and I just said, hey, I feel so bad. I haven't touched base with you since our last event. I never even asked you if you were interested in, you know, if any of this interested you. And I just left it there. And she followed up with, no, not right now. Thank you for asking. You know, I just left my job. Can't really afford it, blah, blah, blah. But again, now I know, okay, I've touched base in December and I'll wait again. We might keep in touch otherwise as friends, but I'm not going to talk necessarily about Juice Plus, you know, for a little while again. I would say usually every few weeks or a month, and keep lists. The other one who came, what we did actually was, she's been to a few events now and she's a customer but not a raving fan yet. And so we have a 3-way call scheduled tomorrow with my upline. And those are so powerful because, again, she's not just hearing it from me, she's going to hear it from somebody else, and she's going to get a little information, and my upline is going to ask questions that I wouldn't necessarily ask. So don't be afraid to get somebody on a 3-way call. And I would say, or just an in-person. In-person is key. You know, sit down for a coffee date. Hey, I'd love to introduce my friend to you. We're not going to sell Juice Plus to them. We're just going to sit down with them. Again, maybe share a little bit of information, ask them questions, and just find a way to weave it in, knowing that we're, like I said, we're doing them a favor because we know how life-changing our products and this opportunity is. The 3-way call comes in where maybe distance is there, so we can't get in a room. So in this case, one person's in Camrose, one person's in Spruce Grove, and I'm here in Morinville. So we can't physically be in a room. So we're going to do a Zoom meeting like this, a 3-way, where we can pretend we're sitting around just having coffee. Very low-key, very, very powerful. And that has also been key for myself in growing my team, is those 3-way calls, getting people to events or getting them to connect with people other than myself. So that's the first question. The second one I had was tips on really building those relationships with team and the partnership. So from my experience, I was an upline's nightmare. Or so I felt like when I joined. I didn't want anything to do with this business. I was like, don't ever ask me to sell anything. I'll take the discount. Done. Fortunately, my upline didn't listen to me. She never pressured me, but she asked me to host an event, of which I was very scared to do, but I did. She brought everything, you know. I was very scared, but I invited my friends. One of them's on the call tonight and is one of my sales coordinators now. And the other girlfriend I got in the room too and was very nervous about was my first customer and team member, because, you know, they knew that I didn't want to sell them anything, and that wasn't what this was about, but they heard some information that interested them, and they were interested. And like I said, so I would say really the key is following, you know, the plan in terms of, you know, if they're really key when somebody signs up that they don't want to do anything, you know, don't be afraid to just ask them very gently. You just remind them, no pressure. So let's say, for example, my new team member last month. Hey, so-and-so, I'm just checking in, you know, no pressure. I just thought, you know, you've been on the products for quite a while now. You know, I was just curious if you'd be interested in hosting a little gathering, or if you'd be interested in, you know, coming out to the next event I'm having, and you go from there. And I know something I like to say is that, oh, you know, you don't have to, but a lot of my team, they just find that first 30 days, you know, you can earn $300 bonus, and that's what the other girls that are joining my team are doing, but don't feel like you have to. And so just sharing that, hey, no pressure, because really there isn't. And in our business, there is no minimum, so you don't have to do anything. But giving them that opportunity and knowing that we can change our mind at any time. So, I mean, I wanted nothing to do with the business, but I still hosted events for in my home, and I didn't have to do anything but just invite people. Took me months to get to VF. I slow tracked to VF. Again, I just kind of every once in a while, like once a month, I would share with somebody, and then I'd get a no and I'd be discouraged, and it took me months and months and months and months and months. But what happened was, along the way, people saw that I was getting healthier and was feeling happier, even though I wasn't posting about it because I was too nervous. They just saw, hey, Corrine has energy. She's always out and about. They're not sick anymore, because I was living the mission, even though I didn't want to be a salesperson. And then it was myself getting to events and definitely getting people to events. So building that relationship, letting them know that it's okay if they don't ever do anything. You know, there's no pressure, but knowing that circumstances change, right? Circumstances change so much. And so maybe they didn't want anything in the beginning. Maybe they didn't realize that, like I say, in our business, it's so different than most because there really is no real deadline for anything in this business. You can reset it anytime. Our company wants to help you realize your dreams. Our mission is to help as many people as possible to realize their dreams. It's not my dream, but your dream. And so letting that pressure off for your team, and I know that's hard if you're going for a big goal. I know that's super duper hard because you need your team to do what you need them to do so that you can reach your goal. They can feel that. And I know, and I guess knowing your team too, right? Because I mean, these are probably your friends and family, especially your direct downline for the most part. But knowing that, you know, I have one person on my team who doesn't take to any sort of pressure whatsoever. So any times that I've ever put that on, you know, she does opposite, right? Because, and I don't want our relationship to be that. I'm not her boss. I'm just trying to help her to realize her dreams. Other people who want that little nudge, that little push. So I guess just making it clear to them that it's not about the business, right? You're so happy that they're along with you for the ride, but that there's no pressure. But also, I guess finding out their why would be key too. Because I know I have people on my team who it's not about the money. They could care less. I could dangle that carrot of a $300 bonus or $1,000 bonus, but it's not about the money. Or maybe it just isn't yet because they don't really realize the potential. And then I have other people who, yeah, they just want to hang out. They just want to spend time. They just want to be a part of it. Like I have people who are like, I could care less what my paycheck is. I just want to hang out, right? I don't want to miss out on these fun events with you or whatever it might be. So yeah, just kind of nurturing that relationship. And then I would also say, even though it's important for us in this business to father, right, to kind of lead our team and give them that nudge, it doesn't have to be from us. So if there's somebody who's really close to you, like my mom's on my team, I'm not going to kick her butt and say like, hey, get into gear. But I might ask my upline to do so if there's something that I feel like she needs that little bit of pressure from, right? So no, like I said, just kind of, I guess, know that relationship, and be confident in sharing, knowing that you are, like I said, helping them, but that there's no pressure if they're not interested. And I would say, okay, getting people to build their own teams is, yeah, I guess just kind of showing like how fun it is. And like I say, just knowing that we're not really like, you don't have to do anything different. You don't have to think outside the box. You just kind of have to do what you know works. And so that would be just inviting people to join your team. Something that I think that's coming that's really going to help you guys with that is that we've realized that the startup meeting, we've revamped it, and we're going to be launching our new website, the teamsynergyinspires.com, an updated version within the next few days. We're just finishing the final touches. We're going to have 3 different startup meetings. So we're going to have a little video that we kind of introduce, and it just kind of shows people the potential. You can do as much or as little as you want. We're going to have a family plan startup where we say, you know, you can just take the discount, that's okay. And then very subtly just kind of encouraging them, but maybe you'd like to share with a few friends and family. So for those people who are like, nope, don't want to work the business, no thank you, you're going to use that one. Then we're going to have our traditional startup meeting that's going to be a little more focused for people who maybe don't just want the discount, but maybe they don't want to run with it. And then an additional, so a third startup meeting, and we're calling that something like fast track to NMD, sort of like somebody who's like, oh my God, I can't wait to leave my job, or I have no income, I've just lost my job, whatever it might be. And so just giving you the opportunity when it arises to share with somebody who really wants to run with it. So I think that's key. Doing a startup meeting with every single person, I didn't do that from the beginning for sure, again, is key. And you can just say, hey, we just do this with everybody. Honestly, you know, you don't have to do any more than you'd like. But there you're just giving them a little tidbit of information and reading directly from it. Because this has been developed from, you know, those who've been in the business for a long time. And we're just learning from our experience. So you don't have to do everything that we did that maybe didn't work. And what we found is doing a startup meeting is absolutely key. So they're going to get information that you maybe wouldn't have thought of, or they're going to get subtle little nudges in the right direction. Okay, so following that startup meeting, verbatim, asking for help if you've never done one, or you just feel like you want some help, getting you know, your upline to get on a Zoom call if they can't be in person, or just sitting down, is just a fun, like I say, low-key way to encourage people. And then the other thing is, you know, some of you might have people on your team, like myself, who've been in the business for months before I really drank the Kool-Aid and wanted to run with it, if you want to say that. So knowing, like I said, that things change. Maybe you never did a startup meeting with somebody, so maybe it's just checking in, like, hey, I was just, you know, realized that, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to do a startup meeting with you, and I felt bad. Would you like to just get together for coffee or hop on a call, and I can just I feel like, you know, I didn't really give you all the information that you need. Or perfect time of year, you guys just checking in with people and saying, hey, like, you know, a new year is right around the corner. Is there, you know, have you changed your mind in what you're looking for goals? Actually, something I'm going to post on our team page later tonight that I just thought of was, at this time last year, we had a little a quiz that I sent out, and it was through some type of program anyways, and it was just questions, and it was that, like, you know, what are you looking from your business? You know, has that changed in the last little bit? So just little questions like that. And oftentimes taking that little bit of time to ask people those questions surprises you, because again, circumstances change, or maybe you just didn't realize that they were looking for something different than what you thought. I know, for example, just that poll we did on our team page made me realize that, okay, rather than focusing on something that maybe you guys aren't looking for, it seemed like everybody was looking for information on building their teams. So then focusing on that, right? So I guess knowing that there's not a one way to do things because everybody in your team is just different, just like we're all different. But knowing that there's definitely, just checking in with them, taking the time to do so. I know what my upline always tells me is for your direct downline especially, every single week just hopping on a call. It might not even be Juice Plus related. Just, hey, how's it going? And doing that. And that's something I need to do more of too. Don't be afraid to ask for help, upline, sideline, whatever. We're all just one team, one mission. So just asking like, hey, would you hop on a call with somebody? Or, hey, I've been thinking about sharing the business with this person, but I don't really know what to say. Do you have any advice? Hey, would you meet for coffee with me and this girlfriend? Or maybe it's a guy on your team and you're not sure how to share the business side of it that way and you just want some advice. We're all here to help. So like I say, I know if Sandy hadn't nurtured me, been patient with me, found out what it was I was looking for, I actually sat her down and tried to quit the business just a few months in because I was so discouraged by getting all those no's. I didn't think I could afford the product. My paycheck wasn't big enough that I felt like it was worthy of what I was doing. And yeah, fortunately, she didn't put any pressure on me, but she definitely, we kind of had a good laugh and she was just like, oh, honestly, you don't have to do anything. And she just kind of loved on me in that moment. And that made the biggest difference because it kept me in the game. And then when the time was right, and this was something that I realized that I was looking for, even though I wasn't sure I wanted or could do, it was there waiting for me. So I am going to end the recording, but also let you guys know that I have a few minutes if you have any questions that maybe I didn't answer.